Hey, what's going on? Oh my good looking cowlets, welcome back to another episode of the TheWorldSMP with Gaming Jayda, and today we're going to be doing quite a bit of stuff today. You guys left a ton of comments on our videos, on the last TheWorldSMP episode where I went around and showed you my house and worked on the sugarcane farm, but look at this is like an extreme close-up. But anyways guys, we are actually on 1.8 vanilla. And yeah, so 1.8 was released, so the server upgraded to 1.8, which is really cool. And we'll be able to download some mods if we want to in the future. But we're at Rain's house at the moment now, because if you look at my XP bar, we are at 34 levels, and I believe we can get an Unbreaking 3. Yes, I'm correct. And we can go again, Unbreaking 3 again. What is that luck? Depth Strider, holy gosh, we just got really good luck there. Unbreaking 3, oh my gosh, 2 times in a row. GG. GG, everybody in the house. Okay, I'm gonna stop embarrassing myself. But I have all this stuff in my inventory because a lot of you guys did comment on my last video. A ton of suggestions. I'm gonna, oh my gosh, there's like a bug on me right now. What the hell? Where the hell is this bug? I don't even know. Stupid bug. But yeah, so it's like, oh my, what? It's just a second here. I need to like brush it off. Alright, I think we're good. Oh god, that Minecraft noise just scared me. But yes, so we need to go check our money box in our house. Money box, that's how we call it. We have some payments in here. I checked just before. Oh, I can hear a skeleton. And we have 5 gold blocks, an iron block, and 3, which is pretty good. I'm happy with that. So we've ended up selling 2 books, and in here we got 1 blaze rod pack out of here. We sold 9, 2, 4, 6, yeah, we sold 8 worth of this, and we sold also 1 of these, so that's really cool. I'm gonna go put that in our ender chest, which is pretty nice. And there we go. I have like no iron, so the more iron I have, the better. Alrighty guys, so we're over here at the Coles building, and as I said last episode, you guys suggested a ton of stuff. What is this? I don't even know. It's mine now. Ha 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 ha. But you guys suggested a ton of ideas when I asked of what you guys wanted to see inside this building, and all these different mob shops, which are really, really cool. So I really want to thank you guys for that. And off camera, I put this renting sections of the shop, contact Jayda, so people can actually rent this out, like a section of the shop if they want it. Apparently someone has put in a shopping trolley. Damn, why you put that in there? Yeah, so it goes. Do people not know how to add the shopping trolley back together? Gosh. Hopeless these people are. Hopeless, I tell you. But one thing I wanted to do is, no, I didn't think anyone would put that there. A lot of you guys did suggest like all these cool things. Like I keep saying that, but I'm just gonna scroll down now. And someone said, Pritix Game said you should make a bakery and sell pies, cakes, cookies, and milk. Now, I thought that I could do that on the side of one of these walls because I don't know, I don't think I could really have enough room to have like different sections for like different cash registers sort of thing. So I'd have to put like food, and then this could be food, and then also, you guys also said by Pritix, he also said a pharmacy where I could sell health pots. Now I thought that was an awesome idea as well. So we could have like food, and then on here we could have like health pots and maybe region even. Or region, you need a ghast here though, so that could be a bit difficult. But we could do that, and then like these 3 you guys can suggest, and we could even make a above storage area where people can rent an area out or something. But we still need to be able to sell something in this area here, which is like a fridge sort of thing. So if you guys have any ideas of what we could have for like a drink or something, then that could be an idea. I was thinking, geez, Claire, I was thinking maybe like fish in here, but that wouldn't really really work because I can't really fish enough to get like enough food to be able to sell it, so that could be a problem. But I really like the idea of like a bakery, and then I could even sell like chicken, since I have like a chicken farm and all that stuff. So I thought that was a really good idea. So I think we should work on this a bit this episode while I tell you guys a bit of a story, because there was this really cool guy that came to my school today. I don't remember his name, sadly. I wish I did know, but he basically went on and told us the story of how his son actually got killed, and it was really, really sad, to be honest. He went on about how his son got king hit, and if you don't know what king hit is, it means like, well, it's more violence than a king hit, but yeah, he had like a son who got king hit, and basically what king hit is, it is so if you punch someone in the head like really hard, then you can basically just kill them, like, or take really severe damage to them, to their skull, which is really, really sad to see. And this guy came along and, my gosh, my bird, stop. And this guy came along and actually told us his story of how his son, his 15-year-old son, went to a party, and this party resulted in his son actually getting killed because they were leaving the party and he was with a few friends. And what happened is sorry, this is really hard to like do this and this at the same time, but what happened is that his son was trying to leave the party because it was getting a really out of hand sort of thing. Like, basically, yeah, he was trying to get away. So he's trying to get away from this party. He's leaving the back door, and then this guy comes around who is like the host of the party's friend. So he's like good old friends and stuff with the host, like the host guy. So he comes over and he's like, oh, where are you going, sort of thing, like, is this party like shit or whatever. So he basically is like yeah, abusing them, really. So he's like abusing them, and then just like, yo mate, we just want to go home, it's getting a bit like out of control sort of thing. And then this guy hits him so hard in the head, he falls over unconscious, and then he just continues to bash him while he's on the ground like a coward, really. He just bashes this kid. He's a kid, he's my age, and he's on the ground unconscious because he has such bad head damage. Like, oh my gosh, it's terrible, I think. And he just repeatedly, he was 105 kilos, he was older than this kid, and he just basically, he jumped on this kid's head, he kicked it, he stood on his ribs, he just jumped on him, he actually threw his body on top of him, and he's 105 kilos, so you can imagine what that would be like, which is absolutely terrible when you think about it. If you're unconscious and this guy's drunk and he's just bashing you, and he killed him. This kid had to go to hospital. Guys, this is a true story too, if I didn't say that. Obviously it is. But this guy had to go to hospital, and he had 4 broken ribs, a fractured skull. His brain was so, like, it was belting so hard inside his head because it was so swelled up that there was no way he could survive. And his skull, his actual brain, like the skull, nearly split open. His actual bone of his skull nearly split open because his head was belting so hard, which is just disgusting, really. Like, it's disgusting that someone could do that to someone else. It's just, oh, I can't even get my mind around that. But yeah, so this guy is getting belted to death. He's just someone off, like, out of conscious. Like, he couldn't do anything. His friends tried to help, but then they were no use because it was just one punch and he was knocked down, and then this guy just kept going, and these friends obviously didn't want to intervene. So there was no way he could be resuscitated because he was so badly injured, his skull and everything. It was just terrible. And this is his dad that came and talked to us. So his dad, his son has died, came and talked to us and told us this terrible story, and there were so many people crying. And the saddest thing was, he said to us that we should all close our eyes right now, think of someone that you love dearly, and then think, what was the last word you ever said to them? And then once you think that, guys, tell me, just do this right now. So close your eyes just think about someone who you care about, mostly your dearest person, and then just think about the last thing you said to them today, or whenever you talked to them last, and was it a good thing, or was, like, imagine if that was just their last day. Would you feel regrets, sort of thing, or I don't know, but I thought that was really emotional, that talk, and I'm really thankful that this guy came along and told his story. And the saddest thing was that his brother's birthday was on the day that he died, and one of these things that came up was being an organ donator. And I think being an organ donator is a great thing because you basically live on in another person and help them with life. And this son who had his birthday, he said that he wanted his brother to be an organ donator, but then they fully decided it was a really big decision, and then the sad news came that they couldn't be he couldn't be an organ donator because there was not enough, like, because he was murdered. He was manslaughtered. He was murdered by this other guy who was drunk. So he couldn't be an organ donator because they had to do an autopsy on his body and discover how he died. So apparently the hospital or something doesn't let you be an organ donator if they have to do that or something. Not really sure the full details on that, but that was just so sad because this family just shows that one small thing, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, it can just turn completely bad for you. And I think that was just really, really sad, the story. And this guy is his dad, and he's been telling this story for over 8 years, telling everyone about how his son died. And this guy was getting so emotional. I just felt so bad for him, honestly. He was just in so much pain, and just, if, like, I don't know, like, he would have so many regrets, like letting him go to the party, or just, I don't know, you just feel, if that was me, I do that with my animals too. When they pass away, I just have so many regrets and stuff. But this story was really, really bad. So basically, today it was our whole school. Well, it was only year 10s actually, because this kid was 15 when it happened to him. So they based it on our age because everyone in year 10 is 15. So my whole grade is in 15. So yeah, they based the story on this guy, and then, like, our whole class, like whole of year 10 was split into 2 sections, and wait, what am I coming up here for? Never mind. So our whole year 10 class was split together, like, in half, and like one lesson, like the first lesson, half of us would go to the talk about this guy dying, his son dying, getting one punch can kill. That was like the whole talk, was one punch can kill. And then for the rest of us who didn't go to that session, we went to a domestic violence talk, which was really, I don't know, that one wasn't as good because we watched like this video on this true story that happened, but yeah, but it was more relatable with this guy talking about his son more than this movie sort of thing. But yeah, it was really, really sad. So guys, just be aware that about the one punch can kill thing. I'd hate to see any of you guys yeah, because this guy, like, only got sentenced to it was 2 years in jail. 2 years for killing someone and taking their whole life and just destroying a family, really. I think, honestly, in America, I think you guys are a bit more stricter or something. I'm not entirely sure. Don't get me wrong, I might be wrong here. But honestly, my opinion on that is, if you kill someone, I feel like you should be killed as well. I don't know. Like, if it's on purpose and you purposely kill someone, I feel like you should be killed. That's my honest opinion. I don't know how many more you guys would agree with that, but that's my honest opinion. I feel like if you take someone else's life, your life should be taken as well, because that's completely unfair to that family, and everyone else has to suffer, and then you just go for 2 years in jail, and then you could come out again and repeat your same offense, which I think is just absolutely ridiculous. You could just repeat the same offense again, and no one can really stop you. Just get another 2 years in jail, and then you'll be out again, which I think is terrible. But yeah, sorry guys for this rambling on the story, but I just thought it was really, really interesting, this guy that came to talk to us. It's just really a mind-blowing thing, really, and I thought I'd share it with you guys just to open you guys up to this, because it is happening around the world. It's happening every day, really, and I'd hate for any of you guys to be the next victim. And yeah, so whew, that was pretty emotional. I think a lot of people did cry in the thing, in like this meeting or whatever you would want to call it, in this presentation. A lot of people did cry. Fortunately, I wasn't one that did cry, but it was getting to that point. Like, as soon as he said to that remember the last thing you said to the most important person in your life, that sort of did open my eyes, because imagine if that was the last time you ever saw that person and you love them dearly and they didn't even know it. I think it's just the saddest thing that could honestly happen. But yeah, this poor kid couldn't even be an organ donator just because he was brutally murdered that much. They had to do a autopsy on the body, and yeah, so I don't think the parts, I think it's because the body parts would be too old to be able, like, because you have to keep them alive and beating, sort of not beating, but like alive and kicking for the next person to be able to have them, and they have to be like stored and stuff. But I think if you do an autopsy, then the actual like liver or whatever it is, yeah, it will be just not, it won't work. Like, I don't even know. But yeah, so this guy, I just felt so bad. And another thing was his whole lung was crushed. So he told us that they had to turn the life support off. They had to decide to turn his life support off, which that would be the difficult decision of your life, really. Turning your son's life support off, it'd be just horrific. But the saddest thing is that because he had his crushed lung, there was no way of him being put out of misery, like it wasn't just turning life support off. He actually, because he had his crushed lung, he actually suffocated to death, because so he was in the hospital and he suffocated to death just because he had his crushed lung, so he couldn't breathe properly without the life support, so he suffocated. And this dad was saying like all these noises that he was making, and it was just really sad. Like, he was making like this terrible like wheezing noise because he couldn't breathe, and then he just stopped, and that's when he was classified dead, really. So I thought that was a really, really sad story. This guy, I really felt bad for this dad and the family that was going through it, because you never really know about these things. Well, you do know that they're happening around the world, but until someone actually tells you and shows you like in real life that it is happening, then it doesn't really open up. You don't really get open up to it. So, oh, I still have that diamond block. I need to go take that back. But yeah, guys, so hopefully you did enjoy this rambling episode. I didn't really get anything done, to be honest, but it's sort of really hard to focus while telling you a story, and I did really want to get that out there for you guys, just to make you guys aware, because it's just really, really terrible. If I would hate for one of your family members or anything to go through this, because it would just be, it would just be life-ending, honestly. I'd hate it to happen to anyone out there that is watching this. But yeah, guys, so thank you so much for watching this episode. If you have any feedback or comments about that story, leave it down below. I'll definitely listen to all comments. I always comment back. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you good looking cowlets later. Goodbye.